Hello, my name is Paulo Trentin, and today I will teach you how to make a bevel gear. First of all, what is actually a bevel gear? Basically is a gear which is not connects in parallel with another gear. In this case, this bevel gear connects on a perpendicular angle. So we have one axis here and another axis here, and of course 9 degrees angle. And when you turn one gear, the another one will turn together. So this is a bevel gear, and I'm actually just following a YouTube video, which I will put on this video description, which teaches you how to make these ones. But on my case, I'm making a differential for one of my projects, and I have some different needs. For instance, the one gear has 33 teeth, and another one have 12 teeth. And these gears, of course, are bigger than the previous one, and the connection between them are small. So each tooth is small, as you can see here. So how can I translate this one for this one? This video is about this. I will make on Fusion the entire process of creating these two gears, and make some comments because I think it's easy to understand when you have some audio, some little explanation on how to do these kind of things. Before I start, I need to say that I'm not Fusion expert. I just a hobbyist that loves to use Fusion because it's easy, really easy to make some things. Like for me, this before I did this, I thought it was impossible to do on Fusion. So now I know how to do, and if you want, I will teach you how to make one of these. So let's get started. I will reduce my video here. Okay, and now one thing we need to start is we could draw each of tooth individually, or at least one tooth here and one tooth here, and connect them. We could make it from scratch, but Fusion has an incredible tool which we can use. If you click on utilities add-ins, you can click on spur gear. This tool is amazing. Basically here we can create some gears based on some preferences. For instance, I will link another video on this video description that teaches you which parameters you should use here, but here I will just use the simple ones that I use it. If you need more, you can see on the video description. Basically I will use 2 millimeters as moduli, which is basically the distance between each tooth. And for the first gear, which will be my bigger gear, I will use 33 teeth. Here it's important to have some it's like we are reducing a little bit each tooth of our gear, so because we are printing them on a 3D printing. That's the main goal here, is to make a gear and print it and see it working. So it's important to have some some distance between them, safety distance, I would say. So I recommend to use 0.15 here. Here we are using, we can use like 0.75, and here the thickness, we can just use 5 millimeters, for instance, which would be the thickness of the gear, and the hole diameter, as this gear is has a big hole, I would just say 50 millimeters. As you can see, this gear will have 72 millimeters of diameter. That's important to note. So after I click on it, I just have my first gear, which Fusions did it for me, and now let's make the second one. The second one will be 1/3 of teeth of this one, so just 12 teeth. the same parameters here and here. Yeah, and we are good to go. The most important parameter to have two gears working each other is to maintain the same moduli on Fusion, so which is basically the space between each tooth. So be careful about that. Otherwise, other parameters are more flexible, but this is the main one, and this spur gear tool always show us to us the pitch diameter. Here is 24 millimeters for this small gear. So as you can see, we have two gears here, which is great, and these are normal gears so far. We need now to use them to make our special gear, which we are making on this video. So basically the first step after making these gears is moving this one. I need to connect them to make them as they would work on real world. So basically I'll move from right or left, it doesn't really matter. It's important to move them, for instance on my right, and the distance will be basically a sum of the half of the biggest gear plus the half of the smaller one. So as we are using 72 millimeters on the bigger one is 36, so I use 36 plus the second one is 24, which is basically 12. So that is the distance, the correct distance between these two gears, as you can see here. So they connect perfectly with each other. Okay, so our first step is to create some base gear using a specific fusion tool which will make a normal gear, and from those normal gears we will make a bevel gear. We will basically turn them in a specific angle, which actually we will make new gears from them in a specific angle, 9 degrees, and that will allow us to make a bevel gear. Okay, so now the first steps after making this gear is to make our let's say focal point is the word that I'm looking for, which will be, as you can see, I'm making this capture position. I'll make a sketch here, and it's important to those values I'm using right now are critical for make sure your gear will work. So on my width of my gear, I will use the half of the biggest gear, 36 millimeters, and on the height I will use the half of the smaller one, so 12. Okay, and now I will divide this rectangle. Okay, and this we can call it line of action, where the two gears will connect each other. So basically we have one gear here and another here, and they will connect each other on the line of action. And this is the focal point, is the most important point of this drawing, because this is where the two gears will point out to connect each other. For instance, when I have these two gears here, the focal point we can assume will be something in the middle, exactly on the middle of this and the middle of this. So will be something like this on my point on my finger. So this is the focal point, which is critical. On my first tries I forgot, I didn't understood which is actually a focal point and how important is it, so I messed up a lot. Here for instance, our focal point will be something like this, as we can see on this drawing. So let's finish. Actually, before I finish, let me edit again my sketch. I will need to define how big I want the teeth to be. So basically I will draw a circle, and I want my teeth to be my distance, this distance to be here is something about 6 millimeters, With 15 I will get something around 7 millimeters. It's almost half of it. We will see it soon. So basically this will define the size of your teeth on your gear, this circle here, which is a little bit weird right now. I get it, but you will see it will be clear soon. After I did this, I need to understand which is the angle of my gear, because they will connect each other on this line of action, which is this, and I need to understand which angle these have compared to this one, which is 71.6. Perfect. I just make some notes here. Okay, and now what I need to do is basically rotate these gears to match this angle. So I will select both of them and click on move, and here I need to set pivot here at the end point of this line. After I click on set pivot, I will unclick on it, and then I will rotate. It's important to unclick on set pivot. I don't know why, but it's important. Okay, so I will put the exact angle that we saw before, and now I have two gears pointing to my focal point. This is critical. You need to have those gears pointing to this focal point. Okay, perfectly. Now that I have two gears pointed to the focal point, I will start to make our new gears. The first step is basically use what Fusion already did for us. Let's show the sketches related to these gears. The sketches, okay. Let's hide the body and hide the body. So here we have two sketches which we use to make our new gears. Actually, each of one of those will make a new tooth, and from that tooth we will make all of the teeth of a given gear. So first of all, we need to bring this reference, this sketch, all the way to down to be at the same start point to go to the focal point. What we need to do is basically show this gear, select this, we can select the entire component and move it, and then once again we will click on set pivot and put on this, not there, not anything else, here on the top, and then again unselect set pivot, and now we can rotate this object, which is incredible. And we need to, let me use shift and rotate to be something like this. Perfect. I need to be those gears to start on the same focal point to the end. Okay, now I can hide this object, and I have the two sketches which were used from our utility spur gear to make the entire gear. I use this reference to make a new tooth for each gear. Let's start with the bigger one. Now I will basically draw a new tooth here, and for that I will use this loft tool. So here we use capture position. As I already has selected the sketch, it's selected here, but I can't unselect and show again. So I will select this and the focal point. As you can see, we have some extrusion here, and we will create a new body. I can do the same now for this small gear. So actually the small tooth. Okay, and the focal point, I need to show the sketch to get the focal point. Yeah, for default now it will try to cut, but I need a new object as well. Okay, nice. So On the base tutorial which I following, the guy work first with one tooth, then make the entire gear, and then move to the another tooth. Uh, you can make each way you want, as always on Fusion, on any tool like this. But I like to have two of them because it's interesting to see they connecting each other, and it's always good to remember that they need to point to the same focal point. This is critical. Okay, now I have two teeth which I need to cut because we don't want a giant teeth on our gear. I don't want a teeth that starts here and ends on the focal point. Otherwise, it could be a way if you want just a teeth for a gear for having a gear closer than this. You can use that, but I need this extra space here because it will be something. This piece will become something like this, and I need this space to put more gears inside because this is a base of my differential, which I will document here too. Now I need to, let's start with one of these bodies. I can hide some of it. I will basically split the body. I can or select here or select the body, and I will use this circle as a splitting tool, which is incredible. As you can see, we are cut on this direction, and now I have two bodies, one for the top, one for the left, and one for the right. This from the left I don't need anymore, so I will remove, not delete, remove. Okay, and let's do the same thing for this big guy here. I can select the body, modify, split body, and it is already selected as you can see, and the splitting tool will be this. Again, I'm cutting following the circle. Okay, and I can remove this. Now we have two teeth, one for the small gear and another one for the bigger one. And it's important to note that this distance and this are close, really close to this and this. This is important. And the only way to make this is to point these two teeth for the focal point. That's why we need the focal point. So we create both of them with the same size because they are pointing to the focal point. And of course, this is the back part of a tooth. So let me just hide this. Okay, this is the back part, which is bigger than the front part, and that's happened thanks to our focal point that we used to match to create those. Okay, so we just create two teeth, and we need now to create the entire gear around it. So let's hide one of them. For instance, the big one. I will start with the small one. Now we need to create a sketch which will represent our gear, which will make it all the way around. Actually, I will start with the bigger one, which is more interesting to show this. So I need to make some sketch, but if I click and try to make this sketch, for instance, I could just click it and try to get some point. I can't. We don't have a reference. As you can see, I click it and I'm on the top of it. I don't want to be on the top of my tooth. So to have some plane to work on, the correct plane, let's try again. I can click on this guy and make something like this. As you can see, I can't click on the edge of this. This tells us we have some problem here because I need to select this edge, but as you can see, I can't. This is a problem because let's if I try just for show to you, make something like this, just for showing, you will see I'm on this plane. I'm on the center of it, and I need to be on the edge of it to draw which I need to draw. So to make this possible, Fusion offers us a great tool. We will use this construct and create a new plane through 3 points. So I will select this point, and this point. And now I have a plane on those 3 points, which is incredible. Now I can make a new sketch on this plane, which will follow the angle of the 2 dots of the tooth plus the angle of my reference focal point. So now I can start the sketch. Oops, let me unselect here. Okay, let me select this and create a new sketch. I don't know why, but Fusion rotates this guide, so we can use this orbit tool and make this. And okay, we are ready to go. And now I'm working on this. I'm creating something like this. I can select at least this edge, but I need more. I need to be able to select this edge, as I also need to select this edge somehow. So for that, I will use this project actually, not project, projection. So I will select this axis, this line, and this line, and okay, now I projected them on my plane, which I'm using, and now I can draw everything that I want. So I will start here on this edge, make like 2 millimeters. You can make the size of you want. We are making basically, oh, I need a pen. Let me use something like this. Yeah, I'm making here basically this space. So here is the tooth. I'm making this extra space. If you want a thicker gear, you can make more than 2 millimeters. I will use for this just 2, but as I just said, you can make each size you want. I will follow this line. I know there's some way to make it perfectly, but it's not necessary, so I will just follow my eyes here. Okay, now I'm making make this connection. I will bring it for the center, so I need to bring it here. I will use this as reference, and now here, and actually this last line I don't need. The height of the gear will be like 2 millimeters. Actually just 1 is good for my purpose, but you can make it more thicker if you want. Here for now I will just make something like this, like on my eye I will use like this, and voila, we have this base. Let's rotate it. You can see that we are following our plane, which is critical. A new plane which I'm making, and this needs to follow this axis. If we rotate it here, you can see the angle of the axis is the same. It's a little bit hard to see because it's just 1 millimeter, but it's the same. So let me orbit again. Okay, perfectly. Why I did this? Let's just show to you. We are creating Revolve here. So a Revolve is basically a tool when you create we create an object around some axis. So I select this object, and the axis is this one, and instantly Fusion makes a revolve, which instead of cut I will make a new body. So we are making this, which is great, but we need a hole here. There's a lot of ways you can make a hole. Of course, we can create an object and then make a hole on it, but we can easily just edit and create some line here and create some distance like this. And for instance, if I want a hole of 5 millimeters, I can make 2.5 millimeters here, because we revolve this and we'll double the size. And okay, we should be good to go. Now I will revolve it again, select the axis, make a new object, new body actually, and nice, we should be good to go. Now it seems to be more interesting because we are starting to see our big gear being made, which is this one. I will hide it and hide this body, and we'll do the same with the smaller one. So let's start to make a construction, plane through 3 points, 1, 2, and in this case I will use this as a reference. I just needed a plane. I could use like oh, I probably can't use the focal point because this angle, let me test, but probably will won't work. Yeah, because the angle of these 2 points is not related. So I will select again 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have now this another plane, and from it I will create a new sketch. I will project this line and this line on this new plane that I just created. Now I can work with them, and now I will make something. Let me just, yeah, I will use something like 2 millimeters is too good enough, probably for now at least. I will follow this green line. This is not critical. I could make another angles. It's not critical. Soon we will see why. Okay, again, and here from here. Great. Now I have the base of it. If I want to make some hole inside of this, I will need to do the same, like make some line here and create some distance between the center and this line. Like if I want a hole about 2 millimeters, I can use just 1 millimeter here, which is great, just for showing how to make this hole, because yeah, depends of your project. And now I can make a revolve here too. I will select this base, this axis, and create a new body. Voila, we have a base, a new object, which is great, and a new one. Let me show 2 of them. Basically we almost have the entire gear here. One thing is important on my view is to match this angle with this angle, like make the teeth following this angle. But of course, if you want to simplify your project, you don't need to make this. It's okay. You can stop here and just make the duplication of the tooth, making all of teeth of each gear, which I will teach you soon. But I like to have some angle here, and the reason why it could be have a better print quality and have this hole here, for me it could be important, especially when we have this wall. It's important to have some space. So to make this space, I will teach you how to make this space right now. Like here could be easy to see, we have some space too. So now I can have some wall here which will not touch this gear. Depends of course on your project and of your needs. So let's do it. One way to do it, let's show our sketches. This line should go all the way to this line. That's one way to make it. Of course, that's a lot of ways to make it. As I already thought, we can make this the way we want. But let me get these two guys close. Let's edit this sketch, and from here I can make something like I could make something like this. Actually, I can project this one too. Clicking on P, and then select this line, and now I can draw something like this, or maybe I can move a little bit this angle. Actually, let me just see how the best way I can do this. Yeah, probably I will do this first. Let's rotate. Remember, this is optional. You can avoid this if you want. I will change a little bit this angle, which should be good. Let's finish it, and let's edit my yeah, like something like this. And here I can, let me just undo. Okay, here. Great. Now we have this extra angle here, which follows this angle from the bottom gear. Now these two connections will be on the same angle, which is good. It's beautiful. It's better and create some space. Of course, you can make it in each angle you want. Let's show it again. This is the angle. This is one gear, another one, and this is the body. Oh, sorry, no, this one I don't need anymore. This one I don't need anymore. Let's just because I changed a lot. I don't have anymore this body. I think that's the reason, but that's not a problem. I will basically recreate this body by revolving it. So just select this part. The axis will be this one, and now you can see we have some extra space inside of it. This space. Great. Here are our other parts. Let's hide the sketches. Interesting. Now I can. This is also optional. We could make these and the same angle of this cone. So for making that, let's hide the bigger one. Just for clarification, I will select this wall, use this tool, press pull. I will enhance it, and the same on the other side. Okay, and now I will cut the rest of it. So basically, I will use I will select this body, modify and split body, and select split into this cone. So we will cut the tooth using this cone as a reference. And now we have like this object and this object. And let's do the same on this other side. Let's select this object here, modify split body, split tools. Again, we have this cone. Great. These two new objects I don't need, so let's remove them. And now this wall is on the same angle of this cone, which is great. Let's do the same here. Select this body, press pull. Okay, this wall, press pull again. Great. Now I will select this entire body, modify, split body, and select this cone to make this cut. And again, modify, split body, this cone. Actually not. This is not the right cone. Yeah, I need some angle here. I forgot to make this angle because as you can see, if I cut this, the each tooth will not point to the outside. It will point to top, which is not good. So let's edit again this sketch, which is okay. You can make some mistakes while you draw and you can fix them easily. For instance, this point will basically, let's get from this. Let me show. I don't have any more that point, but let's make something like this. That's good. And our sketch, I will remove this body, this bottom body, remove, and I will revolve it again, which is easy. Just select the sketch, click on revolve, select profile selected, and select the axis, and new body was created. Now I can make a proper cut. So let's select this body, not this, this one, modify, split body, using this cone. Now we are talking. Okay, as you can see, we have two this and these extra bodies which we don't need. Remove them. Great. And let me show. Yeah, we're almost done. Before I replicate all the tooth and make an entire gear, I will prepare this small gear to be printed on a 3D printer, because on the original tutorial we see this gear just like this, which is good, but when you print, you know, you need some base to print it, which is not good. If you print without base, will be bad too. So it's important to have something like this, so we can print it on this angle, and without any base we can just print it and the quality is great. So let's make this cone here. For making this cone, I will select this sketch, edit it. I will hide the other objects which I don't need. And again, here is like a freestyle. You can make this in a lot of ways. Probably this way is not the best one, but it works for me, so I will share with you that strategy. Let's select here to be a flat angle, and let's create this cone. I will basically create a new line here. I can't create select here, so I will project again with letter P, and now I can select this line projection which I just created, and from it I can draw for instance 2 millimeters at least. This is basically the size of this wall here. This wall here, I think I used 3, but 2 millimeters is good. And of course I can connect this. Okay. Oh, nice. This is the expected angle. Here I can make some axes, like whatever size you want. This axis, like 25 millimeters, 30 is on you. let's use 25. And okay, oh, actually I will have some here. I draw this hole, so I will follow. I will make the same here, like something like this. Okay, okay. And from here I use some angle. I want 45 degrees, which is great for a 3D printer. And now I have this cone. Okay, now we can finish it. And I need a little bit of more things here. Let's show exactly what I need. First of all, I could revolve this. Like I could just create the profile and this axis and make this cone. It's a possible solution. But I will need. I have this space here, which is not good. As you can see, it's really strange, this space. So let's change a little bit our design on Sketch 3. And instead of having this little guy here, I will just create here. Great, this is good. Again, it didn't change anything. Soon it will change. Here, instead of making just like 1 millimeter, I will make more of it. Let me change again. Instead of make 1, I will make 6, and to have 20 millimeter on this shaft, because I have a bearing which I can put it inside. But this bearing has 12 millimeters inside. I tried to print 12 millimeters and didn't work on this. Not like I will need to remove some part of it to make it fit. Let's just change a little bit. Instead of 6, like 5.989. 95, just a little bit. Okay. Again, I need to revolve this. I could like delete this object and make it again. Could be a way, or I can just revolve. I think it will work. Click here, here, and here, and the axis will be the same axis. And now we have a good connection. We don't have that space anymore. It's a great connection. Just something like okay, yeah, let me click here and click on orbit. Again, yeah, here. Okay, so that sounds to be good to me. I will join this with the previous object. Should not be a problem. Let me just see if I have these bars. Yeah. Oh no, the join was not a good option. Let's undo, because I need this object to be alone. That's important. Now soon we will see why. Let's revolve it again. Make this profile, this, and this axis. Let's use this one, and I use anybody. I could use join if I hide this object. Yeah, that's a trick. Now I have this object separated from the whole body right here. Perfectly. We are almost ready to finish this gear. I just need to prepare it. Let's hide the sketches. Let's hide this bottom body. Let's prepare this guy. So here I have this object. I need to connect this object to this base. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of ways of doing this. This I'm like I use this strategy and it works, but maybe if you have more experience you can use another strategies as well. Let's push pull here. I can push pull anyone the size I want here. That's not a problem, but I just need to pass this barrier so I can make like something like this, for instance. That's not a problem. Let's show to you why it's not a problem. Because I will remove the excess. So let's select the body, modify, split body, and use this cone as splitting tool, which will remove the excess, the extra body. This extra body will be removed perfectly. We can have this in a lot of ways. This is just one strategy. We could bring this to more bottom and make this different, but for purpose of this tutorial and this piece, I don't have any requirements that this couldn't work. It should be good. Okay, so now I finally can finish this. I just need to replicate this body to be this tooth to have all 12 teeth on the gear. So let's select it as it's already selected, create pattern, circular pattern, and now I need to show my sketch to use this axis as a base. And as our spur gear tool already created 12 teeth on our gear, I use the number 12 here. I could use like 4, which it's possible, but as you can see, it won't work that much. Or I can use, for instance, 15, which is okay, but it won't work either because the distance between the tooth of the gear is critical. So as our before we create 12 teeth, we will use this again, and voila, we have this entire object ready. Here we have some cone. We could fill this space, which depends. I didn't do this here. Actually, I did here. I did differently, but I will leave it as it is. It's not a problem. Let's join all these objects and create a new body. Only one body. I suggest you to be careful when joining, because after you join you can't draw again that tooth and make the revolve process, the circle process pattern again. So be careful. I would suggest first just to move all these objects to one object and just merge when you will export them, when you finish your work here. Otherwise you can lose a lot of time. After making the whole teeth of this gear, I will make the teeth of another gear. So let's select it. This is the body. Let me show to you. This is the body from the bottom, and this is the body, yeah, this one. So let's show the sketches. I will basically create a circular pattern, but before making this, these bodies, all these bodies make some extra space here, and they can be let's just select this one. Let me hide this, yeah, and hide this one, yeah, okay, perfectly, yeah, this one I don't want to select, yeah. These are the whole bodies of this component. I can create like a new component from it and group them. That is one strategy. Use this new component tool, or I can just merge them here. I don't know why, but I had some problem making this component because I just need the correct way will be just select this body, and I create a new component. Then I should be able to drag these guys here. I don't know why it's not working, but it's not a problem. I can just select all of them and merge them, making one single object. So here I can create a new component, for instance, or just merge them, and I will have one object with all of them. That's one strategy, but be careful to make this only when your object is done. Okay, and now I will make the other one. This gear is easy because I just need to create a pattern, a circular pattern, using this axis as a reference. Instead of 12 teeth, I will use 36 as we saw on Spur Gear 2. And we are done. Now I just need to combine those. Let me try to create a new component from it. Yeah, here I create the component. Let me try to drag all the objects. I don't know why it's not working. I'm making some mistake for sure, but let's select all of them minus the other one and combine, and here we go. Great. Now we have two gears ready for being printed on a 3D printer. Let's remove this one. Let's export them. For instance, I will just call this 34 teeth, 36 actually, 36. teeth. Okay, so let's save as mesh, save, the same here, save as mesh, and save. And from here, let me just open. Okay, 36, and easily we can slice it. We should be good to go. About 1 hour of printing. The same I can do with 12 teeth. Okay, here I will use this angle. Let's put it a little bit upside. Okay, and we will take about half an hour to print it. And the good news is we don't need support because of this angle of 45 degrees that we used. So that's it. When you're done, you can make, we will be able, let me just show you. You will be able to have these two pieces of plastic where you can see they work perfectly fine together. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have comments, questions, please let me know. I will do my best to help.